What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Payne with the Face Mask Podcast, continuing to profile rookie wide receivers. Up today, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jaylen Waddle, the 6th overall pick from the 2021 draft. You may remember the Dolphins originally had the 3rd pick. They traded out, and then they traded back up to 6. There were questions leading into the draft. What are the Dolphins doing? Are they positioning themselves to potentially get one of the quarterback prospects? Because there were some early offseason questions about Tua Tagovailoa as the long-term solution. The Dolphins seem to suggest that they are intending to build around Tua with the selection of Waddle. Again, they traded up to take Jaylen Waddle to reunite an electric wide receiver with his college quarterback. Waddle adds an element to the Dolphins offense that they did not have in 2020, and that is game-breaking, play-breaking, just breakaway in general speed. He is the fastest wide receiver in this rookie class, and you can bet they are going to utilize him as much as they possibly can, along with Will Fuller, the other speedster that they signed this offseason, to an offense that I would honestly expect Miami to want to throw a little bit more if they feel like Tua is healthy and another year removed from the hip injury that he suffered at Alabama. Miami was 18th in the NFL in pass attempts, so on the lower end, but Tua passed the ball more in just in 2 fewer games started than Ryan Fitzpatrick. So the Dolphins want to open it up. They want to throw more, despite the fact the coaching hires are a running back coach and a tight end coach. Again, they hired co-offensive coordinators, Eric Studsville and George Godsey. Godsey is a particularly interesting hire because by all accounts, he's going to establish and install a little bit more college scheme into the playbook. So, misdirections, spread formations that favors a guy like Waddle that, the idea is get fast guys in space, which is exactly what they intend to draw up for Waddle. Now, the one thing that's going against Waddle is there's a decent amount of competition in this offense for snaps. Devontae Parker is the incumbent wide receiver 1. He wasn't remarkable after what could be considered a breakout campaign for him in 2019. 2020 was a little bit more of a struggle, but to be fair, the quarterback play was very much up and down. Fitzpatrick and Tua were at a point where they were alternating games and sometimes in-game snaps, so it wasn't the easiest situation. I already mentioned Fuller. They signed him. Similar skill set to Waddle. The idea is they're both speedsters. Fuller can get down the field and beat the top off. So that's going to be helpful as far as opening up the offense. But Waddle and Fuller are very similar, so they could eat into each other's production a little bit, which could make them both a little high variance up and down. Mike Gesicki, I would say he's a consensus top 10, maybe top 12 tight end. But they also drafted Hunter Long at the position, who is a pass catcher at the tight end position in his own right. He'll probably take some time to develop as a 4th-round rookie, but should still be noted. This Dolphins team has a pretty deep collection of weapons. So there could be a little bit of concern about Waddle's snap share. But again, they drafted him 6th overall, traded up, traded assets, future assets. They gave up a future 1st-round pick to move up to 6 for the ability to take Waddle. So, by all accounts, with the draft capital higher than Will Fuller, higher than Devontae Parker, you have to imagine the Dolphins want to feature Waddle as soon as they possibly can and put on his plate as much as he possibly can, which could mean that Waddle is also the team's punt returner. He was excellent at that in college. He averaged, I think, 19 yards per return. So he has an opportunity to make a difference there. So your league's not likely to count return yardage, but if he can take 1 or 2 to the house, that's just another dynamic that a guy like Jaylen Waddle adds. Now, as far as cost, his ADP has risen. He is, according to Underdog Fantasy, his ADP has officially cracked the top 100. It's about 99. So in a 12-team draft, you're going to have to spend an 8th, no later than a 9th-round pick if you want to add Waddle. That's not outrageous, especially for a guy with the high draft capital, but there could be some concern about his return as far as 2021 production, just because there are so many mouths to feed. I didn't even mention the running game, which I think we all at this point we're expecting Myles Gaskin to be the lead back, and he's decently effective there as well. The Dolphins are not not going to completely get away from their run game. This is not going to be a pass happy pass first, pass happy offense. I think they want to throw the ball a little bit more, but I don't expect them to crack the top 10 as far as passing attempts. Should they get into the top half? Yeah, I think they can do better than 18th overall. They should be able to crack the top 15 if Tua is healthy. I think they want to throw the ball. His 290 attempts in 10 games played, not even just started, just played, proves that. But there could be some volume concerns with Parker still there, with Fuller, in tow. They have, they retain Jakeem Grant. He's also like a specialist, but obviously his roster spot is no longer guaranteed. And then, of course, they have Mike Gesicki. They have Hunter Long. I think Adam Shaheen is still there. The Dolphins are an offense that deploy a lot of 3 tight end, definitely 2 tight end sets, but a lot of 3 tight end sets well. So there could be situations where Waddle isn't on the field as much. But given the other guys, even the other wide receivers in that area, Mike Williams, he's a bit of a dart throw. Michael Pittman, he's a dart throw. Just looking at wide receivers like in that range. Mecole Hardman, he's buried on the depth chart. In Kansas City, they don't use players outside of their top guys. So, there are worse options down here, but it's high draft capital for an unproven rookie. And while, yes, more and more rookie wide receivers are coming into the league and performing right away, but you're not likely to see Jaylen Waddle get 10 targets right away. Maybe not even get 8 targets right away. It's going to be a situation where he has to prove that, he's worthy to get snaps over Will Fuller and maybe even Devontae Parker, even though they play different roles. It's going to be a crowded situation. I like his talent, but I'm not sure I'm ready to take the plunge in 2021 redraft on Jaylen Waddle. It could be, maybe if you're in a keeper league, it could be a situation where if you're willing to wait and in subsequent years you can keep him at a bit of a discount. I think Jaylen Waddle is going to be an excellent player. I'm just not sure the volume is going to be there for him in 2021. It could be a situation where he has to come through on limited touches, limited targets, which is absolutely possible for a guy with game-breaking speed and a guy who you would have to imagine the Dolphins want to try to get him in space and give him the opportunity to produce yards after the catch. Will he do that? Remains to be seen. You could, like I said, the additional weapons in Miami's offense could take the pressure off of him right away. But because Parker is an incumbent as the starter, Will Fuller is a proven veteran who, while it's only a 1-year deal, the Dolphins paid him, so he will be involved, and it's Will Fuller. He's a proven talent. As excellent as Waddle is as a prospect, his opportunity has not come yet. We will see what happens this year, but inside the top 100 as far as ADP goes, that's a little high for me to want to invest this year in redraft. So in all likelihood, I'm probably out. So that being said, what do you guys think? Do you agree? Are you fading Waddle at cost? Do you disagree? Do you think Waddle's he's an elite prospect, which he absolutely is. 6th overall pick and the fastest rookie in this class. He's going to be featured. He's going to be utilized. If you think so and therefore you want to take Waddle, let me know. Drop some comments below. Would love to have a conversation about this. Till then, this is Nick Payne with the Face Mask Podcast. Thanks for listening.